Alright, Florida Railroad Museum Incorporated, doing business as Florida Gulf Coast Railroad, books of rules, CT 402, in effect July 27th, 2010, issued to and on. Florida Gulf Coast Railroad, Book of Rules, rules set forth herein govern the railroad operated with the Florida Railroad Museum, doing business as Florida Gulf Coast Railroad, must be observed by all members whose duties are in any way affected thereby. These rules supersede all previous rules and instruction consistent thereof, and it's effective June 27th, 2010. General notice: safety is of first importance in the discharge of duty. Obedience to the rules is essential to safety. To enter or remain in services as an assurance of willingness to obey the rules. Service demands faithful, intelligent, courteous discharge of duty. To obtain promotion, ability to assume greater responsibility must be demonstrated. Alright, general rules. A. Crew members whose duties are prescribed these rules must obtain with a copy of them. Members of the duties are in any way affected with a timetable must have a current timetable and with them on while on duty. B. Crew members must be conversant with and obey the rules, special instructions, and the doubt as to the meaning of any rule or instruction that must apply with the proper authority and explanation. C. Crew members must pass required examinations. Crew members involved in service on the trains are subject to these rules and special instructions. Crew members must render every assistance in the power carrying out the rules and special instructions, must report any violation thereof with the proper authority. Accident, failure in the supply of water, fuel, defects, tracks, bridges, or signals, or any unusual condition that may affect the movement of the train must be reported to proper authority. Use of the intoxicant or narcotics by members' service of duty and or their possession while on duty strictly prohibited, cause for dismissal. Members subject to random substance abuse tests. Use of tobacco by members while on duty, passenger service while conversing with passengers or in the ticket office, gift shop, or around the train is prohibited. Crew members on duty must wear prescribed badge, uniform, be neat in appearance. To avoid annoyance of the public, crew members, others authorized to transact business at stations and or about trains must be courteous, orderly, quiet. In case of danger to the museum properties, crews must be united to protect it. Crew members must exercise to avoid injury themselves by or others by observing the conditions, equipment, and tools which they are performing their duties. When found defective, it will, if practicable, put them in a safe condition. Report defects to the proper authority. They must inform themselves as to the location, structure, obstructions, where the clearances are closed. They must expect movements of the train, engines, and car at any time on any track in either direction. They must not stand on the track in front of an approaching engine or car, purpose of boarding the same. Crew members while on duty under authority of the superintendent of operations must conform to his or orders and the orders of the subordinates. Unauthorized person must not be permitted upon engines, trains, maintenance of way equipment, or vehicles. They must not be permitted to use corporate tools. Definition: division, the portion of the railroad assigned to the supervision of the superintendent. Engine, the unit propelled by any form of energy or a combination of such units operated from a single control used in train or yard service. Extra train not authorized by a timetable, it must be designated as extra train, the movement in which one must be in one specified direction. Work extra train movement, which may be in either direction within the work specified limits. Passenger extra train authorized to carry passengers. Fixed signal a fixed location indicating condition affecting the movement of the train. Engine fixed signal covers such as signals as whistle post, stop signs, switch targets, other means displaying indication governing movements of trains or engines. Main track extending through the yards and between the stations. Abbreviation, maintenance of the way, MOW. Pilot, a crew member assigned to a train when engineer or conductor or both are not fully acquainted with the physical characteristics of the rules of the railroad over which the train is moved. Siding and track, auxiliary to main track for meeting in the passenger train. Slip speeds, restricted speed, proceed, be prepared with a short stop, restricted speed, proceed and be prepared to stop short of another train obstruction. Switch, not proper line, looking out for a broken rail not exceeding 5 miles per hour. Slow speed, a speed not exceeding 5 miles an hour. Reduced speed, proceed, prepared to stop short of another train or obstruction. Yard speed. Speed will permit stopping in one half the range of vision, not exceeding 15 miles an hour. Your station, a place designated on a timetable named timetable, the authority of the moving train subject to the rules, special instruction regarding the movement of the trains and engine. Track car, a self-propelled car with or without trailers which may be manually be moved to and from the track, and self-propelled track equipment. Train and engine, or more than one engine coupled with or without cars displaying markers. Yard, a system of tracks with a defined limit to provide with the makeup of the train, storing of the cars, other purpose over which movements not authorized by timetable or by train order may be made subject to the prescribed signal rules and specifications, special instructions. Alright, operating rules. Standard time. Eastern time is the standard. Conductors, engineer, track car operators, other designated employees must use the reliable watches. Conductors, engineers, track car operators, other designated members before starting each day run or trip must compare their watches with the clock designated as a standard clock, adjust them to show the correct time. For each timetable from the moment it takes effect, supersede the preceding timetable. Not more than 2 times are given for a train at any station. One is given is the leaving time, where 2 they are arriving and leaving times. 6. The following letters were placed before the figures scheduled to indicate: S flat regular stop, F for flag stop. Signals. Members whose duties require that they give the signals provided themselves of the proper appliance, keep them in good order, ready for the immediate use. Provided during passenger train move of the engineer and conductor, any such additional trainmen as the conductor should comply, shall specify, shall have in their possession radio capable of the communication with each other and station agent of his designee or his designee. Radios may be used with the conductor. Discretion communication signals governing train movement in lieu of hand signals, any other consistent safe operating procedures. The conductor shall ensure that the working mobile telephone is available on each passenger train for emergency purposes. Flags for prescribed colors must be used by day and lights of the prescribed color for night by night. Day signals must be displayed from sunrise to sunset, but when day signals cannot be plainly seen, night signals must be used in addition. Night signals must be displayed from sunrise to sunset. Alright, color signals: A, red, stop; B, yellow, proceed to reduce speed and prescribed uses. C, green, proceed on other prescribed uses. White, flag stop or other prescribed uses. A fuse burning red or near the track of an approaching train must be extinguished. The train then may proceed at the reduced speed. Hand flag lamp signals. Note, the hand or the flag move the same way as the lamp is illustrated. The following diagrams give the same indication. Swung at right angles to the track is stop. Reduced speed held horizontally at an arm length. Raised and lowered, proceed. Back. Swung vertically inward at right angles to the track is back. Apply air brakes. Swung horizontally above the head when standing. Release air brakes held arm lengths above the head when standing. 12H. Any object waved violently by anyone or near the track is a signal to stop. Signals must be given at a point where the plainly seen in such a manner that they can be misunderstood, and if the doubt is the meaning of the signal or the movement is intended, must regard the stop signal. Signals disappear from the view of the movement that must be stopped. 12J. Signal for the engine man must be given according to the way of the engine is headed. Engine whistle signals. Note, signals prescribed illustrated as O for short sound, dash for long sound. Some of the whistle should be distinct intensity of the duration, preparation of the distance signal is to be conveyed. 1 short, apply brakes and stop. 2 longs, release brakes and proceed. 2 short, answer any signal not otherwise provided. 3 short, when standing back, answer to 12D. 4 shorts, call for signal. 2 long, 1 short, 1 long. Approaching public grade crossing starting between 15 and 20 seconds prior to crossing, last sounding on the crossing. And then, which looks like, 7 longs approaching station. 8 short succession short sound alarm person or livestock short succession short sounds. Succession short sounds alarm for a person, livestock on the track. Train signal. Use of the track torpedoes is prohibited. Headlights shall be displayed with the front every train by day and night. When an engine or train is running backward, white light must be displayed by night on the leading end. Yard engines will display headlights to front and rear by day and night. Mark lampers, reflectorized markers shall be displayed to the rear of the train. Trains not equipped with display markers shall display red flag by day and red light by night to indicate rear of the train. Rear of the train displaying markers, red flags by day, red lights by night. Extra trains display 2 white flags in addition with the 2 white lights by night and the place provided with the purpose of front engine. Engine running forward is an extra. White flags AA and white lights BB. 1 flag light displayed with where Rule 21, 2 prescribed will indicate same as 2 with the properly displayed all train signals is required. A blue signal displayed on one or both ends of the engine, car, or train to indicate that the workmen are under about it. When proceeded, it must not be coupled to move or moved. Each class for the workmen shall display blue signals. Has same workmen are alone authorized to remove them. Other equipment must be placed on the same track at a minimum 50 feet from the protected equipment, but not as to intercept the view of the blue signal without first notifying the workmen. When emergency repairs are to be done under and about cars and train, blue signal is not available. Engine man and fireman will be notified, and protection must be given to those engaged in making repairs. When blue signal is placed on both ends of the engine or cars to which the engine is attached, the engine crew must be notified. They must also be notified when the blue signal is removed. Whenever possible, equipment being worked on should be in a location where a switch can be disaligned to prevent inadvertent movement of the said equipment. 27. A simple, imperfectly displayed absence signal of the place where the signal usually shown must regard the most restrictive indication that can be given by that signal, except when when day indicating can plainly see it will be governed. Engine train crews using switches where signal imperfectly displayed or absent must be practical, correct, and replace signal. Signal imperfectly displayed or absence of the signal at place where the signal is usually shown must be reported to Superintendent Operations. 29. When signal except a fixed signal given to the stop of the train must acknowledge as a prescribed rule 14G or 14H. The engine bell must be rung when the engine is about to move and while approaching and passing public crossings at the grade and at stations. Unnecessary use of either whistle or bell is prohibited. All members of the train crew must, when practical, communicate to each other by name, indicating each signal affecting movement of their train or engine. The following signals should be used with the flagman. Day, a red flag. Night, a red light. Movement of the track and of cars or maintenance away equipment, high rail vehicles. 36. Track cars shall be operated by at least maintenance away operator governed by the same rules, special instructions as apply to trains. A white light to the front and a red light to the rear of each of the track cars shall be displayed at night when visibility is restricted. Maintenance away equipment shall be equipped with a yellow strobe light is to be used for both day and night. Track cars and maintenance away equipment, high rail vehicles shall approach each highway crossing at a grade with care and shall proceed across only under flag protection. Equipment shall stop short of crossing to ascertain the way is clear. Track cars, maintenance away equipment, high rail vehicles will not operate spring switches. Or track circuits. Alright, a yellow speed limit sign placed on the right of the track will indicate that the approach to the portion of the track in which a temporary speed restriction has been placed either by a general order or general notice. The order notice will indicate speed limit of the portion of the track. Green resume speed sign is right of the track will indicate the end of the restricted territory. Speed may not be resumed until the rear of the train has passed the resume speed. Red sign on right of the track conditional stop sign indicates maintenance away of men or equipment may be following the track. Permission must be obtained from supervisor or foreman who's placed the sign before it can be passed. Care must not be exercised to prevent damage, injury to the work game. Foreman and supervisor shall notify the train crew when it's safe to resume authorized speed. Alright, 84, train must not start until the proper signal is given. 99, when a movement of projection is in a position where it may overrun by another movement project shall protect against such overrunning. 103, when cars are pushed by an engine, conditions require trainmen must take a conspicuous position on the leading car. When shoving over a public crossing at a grade there are not protected by gates, a member of the crew must protect the crossing. 104, the position switch derail may be being used responsible of the member handling the switch or the derail. This does not relieve the other members of the crew of the responsibility where and when they are in position. Observe the position of the switches and derails. Conductors are responsible for the position switch used by themselves. The members of the crew switch must properly be lined after having been used. Members aligning switches must ensure the points fit properly. Engine man and other crew members must see switches derails when view of their position are properly aligned. 106. Both the conductor and engine man are responsible for safety of the training and safety of the train. Observance of the rules under conditions not provided for by the train rules may take every precaution for protection. This does not relieve others of the responsibility under rules. When in doubt, the safe course must be taken. Shows the signal rules indicating proceeding name clear. Indicating proceed, prepare to stop at the next signal approach. Indication stop. The illustration of typical signal. Red, yellow. Red is for R. Yellow is for Y is for yellow. G is for green. Blue is for blue. W is for white. The blue indicates stop. Blue flag. See Rule 26. Yellow and red, diverging route target, switch target. Indicating main throttle route, name switch target. Yellow, begin speed restriction, temporary speed restriction. Engine indicate green, engine speed restriction, resume speed. Red, stop, contact track supervisor. See also Rule 38, name condition stop. Alright, the indicating ignition grade crossing whistle signal, permanent whistle blow. WX, initiate grade signal, crossing while whistle signal. Modified to apply multiple grade crossings. Name, permanent whistle post for multiple grade crossings. Y, indicate culvert marker. Yard limit, indicating yard limits for the authority yard limit board. And that was Florida Railroad Museum Incorporated, Florida Ghost Coast Railroad Book of Rules, CT 402, and effective June 27, 2010.